If you control the line of scrimmage, you will control the game. Now I'm going to show you a couple stunts and blitzes as the 44 stack defense that will allow you to control the line of scrimmage. Youth football offenses will not be able to pick these stunts and blitzes up. I promise you that. You're just going to create havoc all game long. All right. So now, first off, it's important to start off what is a stunt? Because stunts and blitzes are two very different things. Now, stunts, basically, you could see it's our 4-4 stag look here. Let's just line these guys up better. I apologize. Should have had this done before I started recording. But here's our 44 stack look. All right. Now we're rushing 4. So what a stunt is basically, pre-snap we show that we're going to attack this gap, or we've been attacking the same gap for a quarter or a couple series. A stunt would be gap exchanging post-snap. So it's basically, these are your basic twist stunts. All right, now the green line is the defensive lineman that's going first, and then the red guy is the one that's looping behind. Now, there are two basic stunts. Now, you don't have to run, you could run one of these stunts to one side and keep your base gap assignments to the other. I just drew one on one side and one on the other. Again, you could run the same stunt on both sides. You could only run one of these stunts to one side. It's however you want to do it. But the two basic stunts on this side is an end tackle twist stunt, they call it. So they call it, it's known as ET, end tackle. And then on this side, we have a tackle end stunt, which is known as TE. All right, so let's start with the end tackle stunt. Now, the blue is the kid that goes first. These in red is the kids that are looping. Now, on our end tackle stunt, pre-snap, it looks like he has C. Our tackle has A. Post-snap, our D end is going to work through the right tackle, and he's going to have B gap. All right, now we want to occupy this lineman, okay? We want to engage, attack. We want to take a nice down step, engage, tack that outside shoulder, and then anchor in our B gap. We basically want to take this lineman with us, and then this tackle loops right off of his butt. And then he has C gap, okay? Now you could send this kid off the edge, and this will turn into a blitz because a blitz is sending an extra player other than your rush, the 4 you're rushing. So we're sending him, that would be 5, so that would be a blitz. But a lot of times this tight end will take this kid. Or if you see you run the twist and this tackle staying on, this tight end's blocking down, then you could send this kid off the edge and you'll have a free rusher. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. But the DN is going to attack the inside shoulder and anchor that B gap. We want to occupy this lineman, okay? We want to kind of bull rush him a little bit, but make sure we maintain our gap responsibility, which in this case is the B gap. And then this tackle is going to loop right off the butt of that slanting end, okay? So you got to make sure you don't, when we loop, we don't loop with too much depth or too flat. We want to loop right off the butt of this D end firing out into the tackle. So during your individual periods, take 5 minutes and work these stunts on air. Okay, line your kids up and just practice the stunts. This needs to be a tight twist, and now he is a C-gap player. All right, now on this side, this is our tackle end stunt. So same thing applies here. This tackle, he is going to slant to the outside shoulder of this guard. Okay, you want to get a little bull rush. We don't want to slant around. We want to slant through to occupy this lineman. Okay, and then slant, secure that, attack his outside shoulder, and anchor the B gap. Don't get pushed out. We have to anchor the B gap. Our end is going to slant right off the butt of the D tackle. We want to stay tight right through the A gap, and we anchor the A gap. Now, ask yourself, how often do you practice with your O-line picking up stunts like this? You don't. Even if they film you and they see you do this, it's not going to be enough time to prepare them for it. No one's going to be able to stop these these stunts. All right. So it's just very important that when you're slanting and stunting, okay, this is what we call a twist stunt. So this will be an ET twist, and this would be a TE twist. Okay, the E is for N, stands for N, and that's first because that's who's going first. The TE stunt, T is for tackle, that's who's going first. So this will be a TE twist, this will be an ET twist. You could name them anything you want. I'm using generic, this is not what we call them, but we're just using common football terms. All right. So, but it's important when you guys are twisting that you anchor your gaps. Don't get washed down, don't get washed out. And whoever's slanting first has to occupy this lineman. We have to take this kid with us while maintaining gap integrity. we have to take this kid with us while maintaining gap integrity. All right, and then we want to pull you really want to pull square with your shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of like a skip pull from the offensive side of the ball. So we want to go skip. We want to fire out right off the butt of the lineman, stay square to the line of scrimmage, and then work into our C gap. All right, so that's a tackle end stunt. Let's get into our tackle twist. Okay, this is an interior stunt. I haven't used this too much, but it's a nice little change up. Same thing applies, okay? This is a tackle twist, we call it. So what we're going to do, again, either one of these kids could go first. It really depends. I do like this twist against spread formations. Let's say they're 2x2 here. I'm not going to change these receivers, but let's just pretend they're 2x2. This is a great interior pressure, okay? If you want to, say you got a mobile quarterback and you want to get that interior pressure, okay, this is really great. And even if the quarterback's not mobile, this is a great way to get pressure. It really is. All right, so this tackle is going to go first. He's going to dip. Not dip. He's going to attack the outside shoulder, the shoulder of the center. And this tackle is going to loop right off his butt and into the A-gap. Don't whoop too wide. We're going to whoop. We want to loop. We don't want to loop too wide. We want to loop tight right here and maintain our A-gap responsibility. Okay, so the tackle's going first. This tackle's looping. You could do it vice versa. You could have this kid go first and then this kid loop around. Let's say this is the wide side of the field or the strength of the formation. You could have him go first, then have him loop. It's really up to you. All right, so that's a nice interior twist stunt. Now let's get in a couple blitzes. This is a really nasty blitz. We like this blitz to a 3-man surface here. And I should have checked the diagrams before I hit record, but sorry. Okay, guys. I actually want to make this a Y. Same thing. All right. So this is we call this storm. This is our storm blitz. We love this to a 3-man surface. Okay, 3-man surface is guard, tackle, tight end. There's a 3-man blocking surface here. So we like this. We're basically sending 4 through 3. They can't pick this up. Not only will they be outnumbered if you just sent everyone through regular gaps, they'll be outnumbered even if they went through their base gap assignments. But when you twist it, you're gonna have when you slant it, you're gonna have multiple free rushers. It's crazy. Now, just one note: any outside rusher or outside player that's pressuring off the edge, they have to play a peel technique. Meaning, if the back swings out, they have to peel off and take them. Otherwise, if this kid keeps running, they throw a quick swing to the running back, you're in big trouble. So I feel like you have to utilize the peel technique. Just a little note to keep in mind, because if this kid just blitzes and the back flares out or swings out, we don't cover it, we got problems. So it's very important that we work a peel technique. We eye that back, and then once we know he's blocking or he's blocking us, we take on that block and get pressure. Okay, so our D end, when we slant, okay, we do want to dip and rip here. We want to dip, rip, and then pry our arm up, bicep to ear hole, and then anchor that B gap. We can't get washed down when we're slanting. We can't get washed down here. There will be a seam. So we want to dip, rip, get our feet in the ground, and anchor up field. Okay, dip, rip, bicep to ear hole, anchor our gap. Now, once the quarterback begins his cadence, we want him to creep up to the line, not right on the line of scrimmage, but almost, because I don't want our mic colliding with our end when he slants. So have him creep up like he's blitzing just off the line of scrimmage so he doesn't get in the way of the slanting end. Show that make it look like he's going to blitz B gap, and then boom, he comes C. So end goes first, and then the mic twists behind him. All right, we call this crossfire. We call it storm. This is what you call a crossfire blitz. I believe that's the common term for a blitz like this, but we call it a storm. And then our outside linebacker we call rip is blitzing off the edge. Now this is what a blitz is. You know, a stunt is when you have your 4 rushers and you're switching gap responsibilities. A blitz is sending more than 4. Even, like you could have stunts and blitzes. Like a stunt, you could still do the T, E, and blitz him. And, you can still do that. But like for me, if you're not going to stunt your lineman, even though some might consider this a stunt, I consider this a slant. Even though we are we're just slanting down one gap. We're not exchanging gaps. We're kind of slanting down because he doesn't have this gap. So like we're not exchanging. All right. I mean, there's a million different ways and everyone calls and categorizes things different. This is just my opinion. All right. So we will show blitz over B. Boom. We come C comes off the edge. Who's going to pick that up, guys? No one. We've literally feasted with this blitz. It's very nasty. All right, let's get into a couple twist blitz. All right, so slanting principles apply. Our D tackle is gonna dip, rip, bicep to ear hole. So that left arm, bicep to ear hole. Anchor our B gap. Don't get pushed out. Okay, our Mike linebacker is gonna show that he's blitzing B gap, and then he's blitzing A post snap. Again, don't go right on the line because we don't want you to collide with the tackle that's slanting out. But a little bit off the line, right off the butt of this slanting out tackle, go. It's the same as the storm I just showed you, except instead of these kids slanting inside and the Mike blitzing out, we're slanting outside and the Mike is blitzing in. So pre-snap, you think he's going here, he's going here. Post-snap, he's actually going here, he's actually going here. So good luck stopping this. And then this is a blitz we will run. He'll have peel technique and he'll play peel technique too. I believe we call this Alabama, meaning we're sending all six. If you want to go zero coverage, you can. We're not here to talk about coverages out of these. Whatever you want to do to handle coverage and eligible receivers is on you. But you could go zero coverage here, and then you don't really have to worry about peel. You just got to make sure you set the edge, make sure don't let anything get outside of you. And then on this side, DN dips, rips, slants to B. He creeps up, shows like he's going to bring B gap pressure, then we go. It's that simple. And this is a great blitz off of a base blitz we do. All right, so that's a really good blitz. After you blitz like this a couple times, that's the base way of doing it. We're sending 6 over 5 here. Yes, they could match it here with the tailback, so technically they could slide one way or slide away from the back, have him here, and then he could replace he could seal the edge. So offense can block this, but they won't. It's no one's going to be able to pick this up. You're sending 6. By the time this back fills, they're just going to have so much momentum. We're just going to destroy the block and go. So this is a nasty way to do it. And now if they pick that up, that's when you start playing these games with them. All right. Because look, pre-snap, it looks like you're doing the blitz I just told you. Post-snap, you're doing this. So, I mean, coaches, these offensive linemen are not going to pick this up. So many youth football teams blitz. A lot of teams blitz, but very few utilize stunts. So if you're not utilizing these stunts and blitzes, especially in a 4-4 or 4-2-5 defense, where you have all these different blitzing and stunt combinations, you're out of your mind. You are missing out. 4-4 is great because you're able to do all these different twists and stunts. That's one of the great things about the 44 defense is you're able to attack the offense with multiple blitzes and stunts. And the 44 defense is great because you could easily line any formation. You could do pretty much any coverage. You get multiple blitzes and stunts that the offense won't be able to pick up. 44 defense is nasty. And guys, before I go, we do have a really good 44 defense stack playbook which has a whole bunch of other stunts and blitzes in it. And it gets into much more in depth than I just did. So be sure to check that out. And I hope you get something from this video. Good luck.